After a short break, these past few days have been spent working on an achievement system, as well as a save load system to keep track of player progress. The achievement system is quite simple, as it just requires an achievement name, along with a boolean marking it is unlocked or not. I wanted to separate the runtime data from the static data, so I created the achievement class, which stores the unlock state, and then an achievement data class, which holds the name and description. You'll notice something else in here called toast data. If you've ever played Minecraft and noticed the little notifications appear in the top right corner, you probably already know what these are. Toasts are essentially temporary notifications that pop up onto the user's screen, notifying them of anything the developer would want them to know. Typically, these can be used for telling the player that the system is saving to or loading from disk, which I would like to do, but for now, toasts will only notify players when they have unlocked a new achievement. We've set up a toast factory that will, upon first reference during runtime, create a canvas, panel, and vertical layout group, and instantiate a prefab that slides into frame before fading out shortly after. The icon, title, and description are all set using the toast data scriptable object that I previously mentioned. So far, I've implemented a few simple achievements, one for taking your first step, one for sprinting, saving for the first time, and one for winning your first battle. I'd like these achievements to serve as both milestones and means to progress, so in the future, I'll be attaching a callback feature to the achievement system, allowing any class to subscribe to when an achievement is unlocked and perform its corresponding effect. Say, for example, giving the player 10 HP potions when a spirit faints for the first time, or unlocking certain mechanics of the game like XP share once a spirit reaches a certain level. The big issue I had with the achievement system is being able to watch values or events, like player movement, and know when to unlock the achievement. One approach I'd initially thought of was event-based, but figured it would get too convoluted too quickly. Ideally, I would have a sort of watchdog data structure, which, at a fixed interval, would check the value of an object and see if it differs from the last check. This would allow me to know when a value changes, decoupling it from any system it is currently watching. For now, I've implemented simple mono behaviors which are specific for each achievement, such as saving or movement-based ones. This scales quite poorly, however, and would need to be better adapted if I want to make this game to completion. These achievements can be viewed inside the newly created pause menu, which allows the player to save, load, view achievements, and quit the game. The little achievement entries might look familiar, since I reused the Toast UI prefab to display all unlocked achievements. The entries are spawned in at runtime when the player first opens the menu, using the Achievement Manager's getAchievements method to check which achievements exist and if the player has unlocked them. If they have not, the entry will display a locked icon and question marks for the name. I chose to keep in the description, however, since I felt that the player should know the general idea of how to unlock the achievement. Save data at the moment is quite simple, as it just saves the player's world position, but I would like to add multiple data entries for things like party members and their stats, as well as players' items. I've sort of future-proofed this by creating a player save data class, which holds anything that might need to be saved to disk. Most, if not all, of the spirit data is already serializable, so adding this to the save data later on should prove simple enough. The save manager is in charge of reading and writing from disk, and uses a separate file for each type of save data. Currently only the player position and achievements. This works, however, is very specific in its implementation. In the future, I'll refine the system by using some sort of save load interface, allowing mono behaviors to receive save and load callbacks. I'll define a few files such as player data, achievements, and progression, and require the subscribers to specify which file their data would fall into. Doing things like this allows for easy expansion of saving into new systems, and in the worst case scenario, I could simply just add another file to the list. As a side note, this was technically supposed to be Devlog 6, and Devlog 5 would have been my midterm assignment, a grid-based inventory system. Trying to figure out how to store the grid data absolutely killed me, and I couldn't meet the deadline. I will still be adding an item system in the next week or so, but I think I'll keep it as a traditional list of items for now. That's been it for this week. Thanks for watching.